Hey, so this is a bit different, but I want to sit down and talk about why most people quit. So I wanted to sit down and do something a little bit different and talk about a struggle that I think most people run into when they start something like this, where you start running out of that excitement and momentum you had from when you first got it going, and you start to have more trouble completing the task that you need to, right? You have a little bit of a tougher time keeping this going for real. A lot of people get to this point and they quit, right? Rather than trying to find a solution and trying to find a way to continue on sustainably, it's easier just to put it on the shelf, right? But that's not what we want. We want to work together and work past this and do it so that we are fulfilled, we achieve our goals in a manner that doesn't wear us down. I had been doing this for a few months, but it wasn't really getting any easier. If anything, it felt more stressful. So I did a bit of an audit and realized that I had started to form a habit of prioritizing things that weren't as important to me. And that's a recipe for a burnout for sure, 100%, right? I was more focused on the grind and being accountable to the goals I'd set for myself than I was about making sure that the relationship with my family was maintained and that like I was, taking time for my own health, really important stuff. Yeah, my schedule is already really busy before you add in, these new projects that I'm taking on. I'm working 3 jobs. I've got 3 kids that I'm responsible for. I've got a partner that I live with that is really supportive, thankfully. I've got my accountability to them and my relationships with them to maintain. And plus now I've got this new business that I'm getting going. The videos, writing, filming, editing. Got to learn the editing. I'm still growing and, expanding on my knowledge as a music producer and writer. Balancing all that without a plan is impossible. It won't happen. I had to get back to basics and redefine my priorities, right? What the most important things were to me in my life, right? And not just with respect to like YouTube and music and production, recording, all that stuff, but like my life in general, everything as a whole. It's all in the same pot. Cooking that all together, I defined the things that were the most important to me: my family, job, or my income, and my health. This is not something that rewards passive effort. Any sort of passive input is going to get you nowhere. You need to be hands-on and engaged in this change you're making in your life and like schedule your time to ensure that you can fit it all in your day. Now, I've blocked off time for, work and then set some time aside for my family obligations. I have to make sure I'm sleeping, eating, exercising. I have to check all those boxes. Those are non-negotiables. That time of the day, inflexible, does not move. And then I worked ambitions around that. After doing this for a couple months, I found that I'm no good at switching between tasks. I find it really difficult to go from, say, editing a video to some sort of music production stuff. I want to do either one or the other. So in scheduling my day, it'll be like one task. I'll block off like 2 hours to edit a video on a given day or whatever. Or, that same 2-hour block I'll devote to strictly music. Since it's not so much time, it's really important that I know exactly what I'm going to be doing during those 2-hour blocks, or not always 2 hours, but during those blocks of time that I have devoted to get there. I worked backwards from a 6 months, where I want to be in 6 months, broke that down into monthly goals. And from there, it's really easily broken down into smaller pieces for weekly goals and then, daily goals. So I want to check off something on my to-do list every day. I had to be a little more honest with my ambitions in that, right? Because obviously, the ADHD in me wants to get it all done and like knuckle down and just grind it out until it's finished. But that's not how things are going to work if I'm going to keep this going for any length of time, right? So if I can check off one thing per day, I'm in pretty good shape. And that's all I need to do in order to keep, one foot moving forward. Another thing I found really important for myself, at least with that whole grinding mentality that I want to absolutely get out of the habit of, hard deadlines for my day, right? Like I usually get up at like 5 or 6 in the morning. I'm an early riser. So no working before a certain hour. And no working after a certain hour at night, even if I'm not done, even if I'm on a roll. Hard stop. Honestly, like when I was first making my first couple of videos, I had this internal dialogue that was like, as long as the video is filmed, that's all you really need. It doesn't matter how long it takes to edit. You can do it overnight. And it sounds insane to say out loud. I need to ensure that I'm getting proper sleep and I'm taking care of one of the priorities, right? Like one of the big pillars of my sustainability plan, which is my health. And I've actually found that a little easier. Like I'm making this video right now, and yeah, granted, this one's going to be a little more casual. If I know that I've got 2 hours and in that 2 hours, I have to get this task done, I'm not stressed out about how long it's going to take me, or if I get the video done this week or whatever, for example, or if I can finish tracking for this song on a Tuesday. You know what I mean? Like, I'm less worried about that and I'm actually more productive. Crazy. So I wanted to sit down and make this video just because I think a lot of people give YouTube a shot and then give up because it is hard. It's a lifestyle choice to keep this going with any consistency. Absolutely. Right. Especially after the momentum and like whatever juice you had from, you know, how excited you were to get this new thing off the ground. When that runs out, it's time to get a little bit more honest with yourself, you know, about how you're going to be able to do this consistently over a long period of time. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.